Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about some very interesting news. And obviously today we are going, as already in the title, we are going to talk about if the Ethereum ETFs are really coming, and we have some evidence that there might be a little bit of a problem there. So we are going to discuss that. We are also discussing a little bit about what's happening with this dip right now, with this Bitcoin dip, and we are going to discuss the overall situation of the altcoins. And then, as always, more to the end of the stream, we are going to talk about everything Ecomi and Veve, so make sure to smash up the like button for that. And yeah, let's go. So, where's my face? There's my face. Okay, so hey everyone, and welcome to the stream. Good morning, especially to my rare hodlers here all around me. I see a lot of people already in the chat, that is good. MVE is here saying GM, good morning. Felipe, good morning. Carl R, hey, how are you doing? Surfer Dude is here, and I see we still like Janet Yellen and her call to action. Adam is also here, good morning. We have a little bit earlier stream than usually. The reason for that is that I have a hard stop early, and if I don't start right now, the stream will be very, very short. So I have to go somewhere at 8:20 or something like that, CET. So make sure to smash the like button right now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. You see, we're lacking 95 subscribers until 4,000. 4,000 is an incredible benchmark that I would have never thought to achieve when I started this. So that is cool. But let's jump right into the topics. And yeah, if you want to become a rare hodler and sponsor this channel, then you just have to become a YouTube channel member, and you will be on the screen with I think mint. If you're subscribing right now, you'll be mint number 32. So yeah, there are some 30 mints left. Anyways, Bitcoin looking stronger. Hey Green Lantern, what's going on? GM, PH, and the boys. I thought the bots, but the boys, yeah. So if we draw a trend line in here for Bitcoin just quickly, and we come back to that, we can see that we have somewhat of a bounce here for Bitcoin, and the question is, will we already continue this? Will we continue on this rise? Will we form another higher high here, a new all-time high for Bitcoin, or will we go short term into a prolonged correction, pre-halving correction? So this is unclear, and to be honest, I mean, you can draw whatever TA in here, but I'm pretty sure that almost no one knows if and when and how this will happen. You could technically expect something like a mini head and shoulders here for continuation, but it has to form and close just yet. So definitely that. More people chiming in, 14 people already here. Trucking Hank, good morning. Oh, Trucking Hank, did you already? Trucking Hank has a new medal, I think, but I'm not sure. JKRB also here. Okay, so that for Bitcoin. If we lose this, I'd say, and it's not. I mean, it's not impossible to lose this, right? If we lose this, the next stop is at, yeah, technically the next stop is here at 62,000. 62,000, that would be reasonable to correct onto 62,000, but it doesn't have to happen. It could be that the dip is already over, and it was potentially a buying opportunity. Okay, so there are a couple of things happening this week for the Federal Reserve, and that is on Wednesday we have a Fed interest rate decision, so a money printer going back on or not, or better, it's already on, right? We saw the global liquidity sign, but the question is, will it go on hard already, or will they be like, I don't know, inflation and so on, we need to stall, right? That is coming on. I think if they lower interest rates, probably the market goes ballistic. Then we have the FOMC statement on the same day and the economic projections on the same day, and everything's on the same day, by the way. Fed Chair Powell speaks. So all of that is coming up on Wednesday, so we should keep a closer eye on that. What we also need to keep a close eye on always is our big 4 ETFs and their purchasing. So here we have a weekly for these ETFs, like a week. I hate when this happens. There you go. Note that also shouldn't be happening. 1 second, guys. It's too early. It's locked. Now I know. Okay. There we go. My face out of the way. So here we go. So as we see here, like in week 1, the 4 Bitcoin ETFs that we are looking for is IBIT is orange, is BlackRock, then Fidelity green, ARK Invest is yellow, the small yellow one, and BitB is, what the heck was BitB? I don't know anymore. So what is that? That's not. I don't know what the ticker is for BitB, but it's one of the other ones. Anyway, so Grayscale is not in here, and we see that the volumes, or the Bitcoin added better, the volume is higher, but the Bitcoin added is pretty high. Like there's a weekly of over 43,000. That's probably an average of Bitcoin added per week. And if you consider that we are only producing like 7,000 Bitcoin per week, that is pretty crazy, right? Zombie Attack News says, yo, exciting times trying to buy these dips. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whenever there's capital still available and going to the dips, then these are exciting times. So we see that the ETFs are buying crazy. But one other thing is super interesting, and bear with me here because it's about the biggest channels of crypto, the social media ones, and we have here in the heat map Cryptos R Us, Benjamin Cowen, Crypto Banter, Plan B, BitBoy Crypto. I don't know, BitBoy Crypto probably will not appear anymore that much. Coin Bureau, Digital Asset News, Altcoin Daily, Data Dash, Journey Crypto, and Invest Answers. So the biggest crypto channels, and how much new user inflow they have. And we see in the past bull run, they didn't get all the way this rally, right? They didn't get much attention. So for example here, like 1/3 into the rally, they start getting attention and new followers. And then it spiked several times on the all-time high, and then when the first crash came was when their channels really exploded. And probably that was because the altcoins were exploding at the time. So when the first crash came, or slightly before. So we see right now, if we're looking at their inflow right now, that we are more comparable to the stage where we at 1/3 of the rally. So we are probably here in the cycle. In terms of when we're just comparing how retail enters the market. So crypto didn't really get the new users, the new followers just yet, like the crypto channels. And we also see this here on our channel, that we're the same old gang plus 2 to 3 new people, right? So all the OGs here, I mean, I know your faces very well, yeah. Not your faces, but your profile pics and names. Yeah, I know you degenerates very well. So all the new people, they are not here yet. Okay. So that to where we are in the cycle from a social media perspective. I think that's interesting. Let's talk about altcoins. Because I think that altcoins have not really started yet. So we have here another indicator for altcoins, and I'm going to move myself up here. So this is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and excluding stablecoins. So this chart here is the entire altcoin market cap including Ethereum, and we have this QQE indicator that is used here by Mustache to look at when the explosive move of altcoins should be starting. And we see here that it starts with, or in this scenario, starts with a green bar. This is 2 cycles ago. This is last cycle, and look how the price movement is kind of already going up, but still a little bit flat-ish. Okay, so we could even expect some sideways movement here out of the altcoins, and we would still be on par with this. And it just formed a new bar, a green bar. So this just formed, and we see that means basically everything that you have in altcoins now, that move is still coming. And we're looking at our own stuff as well in a second. But I think that this indicator, at least, it looks to me that it implies something like on a bigger scale that we should be aware of. So no altcoin move just yet. I've not sold altcoins, not taking profit. By the way, if you're interested in altcoin updates, I just uploaded an altcoin video yesterday in the evening, so it's only up for like 8 hours. So after this stream, if you want, you can check up on 5 altcoins that we're following on this channel, and I'm going to put out more altcoin content as we are going into this channel, into this stream. So now let's get to Ethereum ETF. So what you're looking at is a letter from senators, right, to the Honorable Gary Gensler, Chairman, Securities and Exchange Commission, and the success of here Alexander Grieve that put this up. The success of Bitcoin spot products clearly ruffling some feathers on the hill. Senator Jack Reed and Senator Lafonza Bootler, they write to the SEC urging. Okay, so let's look at this. And I don't know if I can get this bigger. No, I can't. Okay. I can't get this bigger, but I will read in some important passages to you. So, dear Chairman Gensler, we write to urge the Securities and Exchange Commission to take steps to protect investors following its recent approval of the listing and trading of certain spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. Okay, so first of all, like this urging already triggers me hard. So the investors that bought the Bitcoin ETFs, okay? That was what, like 4 weeks ago? Where's the Bitcoin ETF approval? There it is, right? Okay. So they are very much in need to be protected as they are up 42% up to date, not even the all-time high. They are up 42% on their Bitcoin in the ETFs since the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs. that is better than any stock market products, their treasury bills and their 401ks and everything else that is government sponsored can give them. Oops, sorry for that. That was not the intention. Where is my tweet? There it is. Okay, so that's what I said. The SEC's approvals have provided a green light for Wall Street to sell volatile cryptocurrency investments to ordinary Americans through their brokerage and retirement accounts. Well, as we just saw, that volatility is massively to the upside, and yes, at one point it will be to the downside, but right now they are heavily in profit, right? So, given the significant and unique risks posed by cryptocurrency, it is critical Americans receive accurate, comprehensive information about Bitcoin ETPs. No problem. I will continue my channel so that we can, that Americans can get exposure to the real, real information. Anyways. So what they are basically saying, oh, Bitcoin is dangerous, but look at the US dollar. People are down 98% on the US dollar since basically since 1970 something, and people that are in Bitcoin, they are up 200,000% since the inception of Bitcoin if they bought Bitcoin at the very earliest moment, right? So I think it's maybe Americans should be, not only Americans, it's just because this is American, right? But people in the world should be informed by their government about the dangers of holding like fiat currency, right? So because that is a real risk. Like if you put, for example, in Germany, if you put $100, €100 in Germany under your pillow and held it for 1 year, you're officially down 8.5%. So you lost €8.5 purchasing power, which is the equivalent of a nice entrecote steak. If you follow what you really see in price explosion in the supermarket, you are more likely down 15 to 20 euros. Whereas if you just ape that into whatever crypto, you'd be up probably by now. So yeah, that is that. So they're complaining here a lot of about the legislation, but the second page is really going in hard. So we urge the SEC to take several specific steps under its existing authority to address these issues. Carefully scrutinize brokers and advisors' communication regarding Bitcoin ETPs to ensure investors. So they want to mix in how they should regulate hard how this is advertised. Examine brokers and advisors that recommend cryptocurrency ETPs to ensure they are in fact acting in the best interest of their clients as required by SEC rules. Now this is, I'm not going to tell anyone how to do what to do in their countries, but just from a perspective, if that was here in Germany, I would be furious, right? Because they're basically saying, hey, go to an asset manager and tell them as a politician how to best act in the interest of their clients. I mean, as long as you comply and abide by the laws as a company, your government shouldn't tell you as a company what's the best interest for your clients, right? Well, anyways, so I mean, therefore you already have rules set up, laws set up. Why does the SEC have to? The SEC probably doesn't even have to have jurisdiction there. So finally, we believe the SEC should strictly limit the precedential application of these approvals. And this is now where basically these senators are urging the SEC to not allow more cryptocurrencies. We do not believe that other cryptocurrencies show the trading volumes or integrity to support associated ETPs, nor do we believe that markets for futures and other cryptocurrencies are likely to demonstrate the tight correlation with spot markets that would enable meaningful market surveillance to deter and detect bad actors. Interesting, right? So they're basically saying, okay, now basically you already released Bitcoin, there's no way back. They acknowledge that there's massive trading volume, or at least that there is trading volume, and they are now claiming there's not enough trading volume. And what they mean, they don't write it, but what they mean is that they urge the SEC to not allow the Ethereum ETF, because if they do that, basically all these asset managers will set up ETFs for every altcoin that is out there that is interesting and has high trading volume to capitalize on the trading fees. Retail investors, it's funny, retail investors would face enormous risks from ETPs referencing tinily traded cryptocurrencies or cryptocurrencies whose prices are especially susceptible to pump and dump or other fraudulent schemes. That sounds like if the SEC was planning on allowing like a dog with hat ETF or something like that. But that's complete bullshitting, because let's look at this. This is from Paul Gruel, and he shows here the trading volume of S&P 500 stocks versus Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what they are saying is that Ethereum doesn't have enough trading volume to be an ETF, when in fact it has one of the highest trading volumes, and there are only Tesla and Nvidia that beat Ethereum. So we see here that most of the S&P 500 stocks don't show the trading volume. Probably if you display Solana here, it's probably also somewhere up here or something like that. So the argument that these senators make is just going out of the window with this graphic. And probably, I believe, with the point to the question, will Ethereum ETFs come? Why is it so important that they come? Because it would spark an altcoin run like we've never seen, if they come. So this is a very good argument here, because it was already also an argument on allowing the Bitcoin ETFs, that there is high trading volume and that the futures ETFs were 99% comparable to the actual spot coin trading. And what do we have for Ethereum? We have already an Ethereum futures ETF that has been allowed by the SEC. We have the high trading volume comparable with Tesla, comparable with the best stocks in the S&P 500. So again, we have BlackRock, that, if I'm not mistaken, BlackRock filed for Ethereum ETF. BlackRock, as we remember, has only lost one ETF filing in their entire history. Even Bitcoin went through. BlackRock and others filed for that, and the deadline is the 23rd of May to decide on that. So these senators are in absolute panic right now, because they don't want this to happen. Maybe, I don't know if it has anything to do with, hey, during the elections and so on, or if they are fearful that people are just completely going to set a new economic paradigm where you are investing more in crypto than even in the stock market. We're on the cusp of a radical change in how investing and economy works, and I think that scares the hell out of some people that are betting on traditional system and are working for the traditional system. And probably behind them there are some stakeholders that are urging them to take steps, right? By the way, we have 35 people here, so make sure to smash up the like button right now to push out the stream even more. If you enjoy this type of content, please let me know by smashing up the like button. So there's always going some research into these streams, so I hope you appreciate that. By the way, what happened to the group portfolio? That did not continue because of the time constraints, but actually we should take a look at it. I took the profit on the Miro, so we can continue the group portfolio actually when we have dips. Adam says, taking away gold is why. Yeah, basically, yeah, probably, right? It's like gold was 70 years ago, they didn't really like, or 100 years ago, they didn't like the gold. Now they don't like the Bitcoin. But yeah. So I think the chances are still okay that Ethereum ETF is coming, but we see a lot of political resistance, and the reason for so this is a reason to be careful with thinking that it's granted that all of this is coming, right? So that definitely should be considered here when aping into your coins. Okay, so one more thing. Speaking of aping into coins, if we're looking at this, meme coin presales hit peak degeneracy with over $100 million raised in 3 days. So that's obviously crazy. And the reason is that retail is coming into meme coins and not into Bitcoin, because they're like, oh, and also the YouTubers that where they are looking at, they are telling them rightfully so that the big money to be made is not in Bitcoin, because if you buy Bitcoin now at 70,000 and it doubles, okay, you doubled your money, that's fine, right? But with almost every other altcoin, you're very likely to hit multiples. So a lot of retail investors, or maybe you would say retail that is already a little bit experienced in crypto, they are now going into something else, and they see the massive returns that coins like Bonk and Dog with Hat and whatnot did, going from a couple of million to hundreds of million. And now we see, okay, they are probably going into pre-sales because they see that almost with every meme coin, as it is right now a shitcoin season, right? Every meme coin does massive returns. So this is where the first wave of retail investors will get wrecked, because the moment that the meme coin hype, some will get rich quickly and some will get wrecked. The moment that the meme coin hype dies off, these coins will take a massive hit. And then there's also so many rug pulls, and a lot of people are now using Solana as a base because the fees are way lower than Ethereum. So they're buying meme coins in pre-sales on Solana and on maybe on Avalanche and I don't know what, and hoping to have bought the right meme coin horse. Yeah, because what we are seeing is when we are going into these lists, there are coins that come into the top 100 in a matter of 2 days from the pre-sale, which is in the 1 billion territory. Yeah, I think, and that gets people excited. This is a little bit like lottery. This doesn't have anything. Yeah, peak degeneracy, absolutely, and that has nothing to do with investing. I know that some of these altcoin gambles also has nothing to do with investing. You are very likely to lose a lot of money. But at least they have a narrative that you can spin for longer than only a couple of days. Some altcoins, some meme coins do have a narrative or a community where you can spin it way longer than only a couple of weeks. Like Doge, like Sheep, maybe Bonk, who knows, maybe Dog with Hat if they just build a crazy community. But yeah, Solana, as Green Lantern says rightfully, Solana is the rug central. So with regards to that, altcoins, Ethereum and so on, we should take a quick look at Ethereum and highlight a couple of things here. So first of all, also Ethereum has run into this resistance here that we see. Let me highlight it again. So here, these pre-top highs approaching the all-time high, that's the resistance where we are at right now. And we've blown past our target as expected, but now we ran into that resistance. And for Ethereum, going back to its all-time high is a necessity. Ethereum usually catches up after Bitcoin surpasses its all-time high. And so that would be another 27.6% move for Ethereum. Not too bad. And then it would face the bigger resistance, maybe bigger resistance, which is previous all-time high. Can the body close? I'm not going with the wick. The wick is a little bit higher at 4,800, but Ethereum is working on that. Yeah, and so will be the altcoins. So Ethereum is an indicator for the altcoins there. Let's quickly look at USDT dominance, so how much USDT is bouncing back. So the bounce back is still ongoing. We still have USDT flowing out of the market. However, we already have a little bit of a turnaround. So it seems that maybe we don't come back up here to previous resistance, but it's uncertain. Just because we had a little bit of inflow back doesn't mean that the correction is over. So this is for now, in a very, very short term, the trend is to more outflows until proven otherwise. What we want to see is that this comes back down to this line, and that Ethereum, USDT gets allocated into the market. So when it goes down, it's going into the market. When it goes up, people are selling crypto into USDT. So yeah, what we want to see is something like this, right? That it loses its support and goes hard into the market. Which would be, so there are two things. So one thing is, I've drawn in something different here for Bitcoin dominance, okay? So the Bitcoin dominance. How much Bitcoin is dominating the market? Let me quickly refresh to show this to you. So this is the weekly. And as we see, we have been forming some kind of ascending triangle. And I think at some point, even though if we lose a little bit, come back up, at some point we'll break this to the upside. And then I'd say we're going direction 60% with the Bitcoin dominance. The higher this goes, the more bullish I will be on a potential altcoin season, because the higher that the dominance goes, the more I will expect then this waterfall crash down to spark a massive altcoin season. You see, this went really high here, went sideways, and then boom, it just did. This altcoin season was massive on top of a crash like this, right? If you are crashing from here, the way down is quite significant, and maybe we even lose this support. But the higher this goes, the more I think we will explode in the altcoins. So, and I think we're not done here for Bitcoin, because it's still Bitcoin narrative, Bitcoin season, and we are going to observe now this ascending triangle, if it will break to the upside and when it breaks to the upside. And I think this will coincide with a massive Bitcoin run where the altcoins cannot keep up. Probably driven by new ETF inflows, maybe driven by a Fed rate cut, who knows? Maybe it takes another 3 weeks or 4 weeks to break out after the halving. The halving is 32 days from now, still scheduled for the 20th of April. Yeah, let's quickly look at altcoins, and then we talk about quickly about Ecomi and Veve. So the altcoins, we have hit our target here, next target, and ran into resistance, like Ethereum ran into resistance on that same. Yeah, it looks like Ethereum in a little bit of another scale. So that target is hit. We can delete it now. We're still a little bit earlier than this trajectory here would say. Yeah. We're a little bit earlier, but if we move sideways, we could realign even with that. So this seems to be very accurate to me. I think, yeah, if we would just take this and a target of 2.2 trillion in the altcoin market, we would have another 7x out of the, oops, you cannot see that. Let me show you here. We would have another 7x out of the collective altcoin market, which doesn't mean that Solana goes, for example, 7x, but then instead like Solana 4x and other coins 20x or so. But overall, I think there's still a lot of power in the altcoins, and we've barely started. Yeah, but the indicator is you see the RSI. The RSI did hit. Look at that. That is very interesting. I just saw this right now, but let's look at that. So you see the RSI here. We are at 84. We hit 87, but we are at 84. And here at our altcoin peak, we were at 96. So, but here, see this when we ran into our first resistance, we were also at 84. So we are exactly, or more or less, at what the level that we were here and where we had our deeper correction here. So maybe we aren't, or maybe we are exactly as we said, as we projected, because we took this projection from here. Maybe we are also really at the, how did I draw this right now? Was it like this? Maybe we are at the same point, just trying to get past this line. So we are here, like 21st of December 2020. We might be just here. Yeah, previous, yeah, exactly. So we should be here, and this is about to come. Okay, so I think we're pretty accurate there. Maybe we will overshoot this projection, but I'm going to look at these trillions. I just realized the Bitcoin halving is happening 420. Yeah, exactly. So this would be even more bullish, right? Because a lot of people will just spam. How crazy is that if that happens on this day? So it could vary if like the hash power goes high. I think it could be varying in the day, or if it drops really low. But for now, the closer we're coming, the more it seems that it will be really this state. Let's quickly look at the Ecomi, because the Ecomi token, has suffered quite a bit of downside. And as we can see here, we still have this point of whale rejection, because this is not natural. Here are some very big sell orders that are getting dumped into the market whenever the market is coming up with hype. And so right now for Ecomi, we see this massive drawdown. I mean, we saw this wick, but from the wick to the absolute bottom, we had a 36% correction, which is not out of the ordinary in an altcoin market. The only thing that some people are getting frustrated with is that we are in this price range since we're in whale accumulation territory since 487 days, 1.5 years. Dan also Force is saying some interesting things on Twitter. We can look at that in a second. So just so you know, John's cryptotherapy, which we know is like a whale with billions of Omi, he just projected that we would maybe dip into this zone and even form a lower low to have some kind of a spring moment, like a liquidation event, and then from there go up. So we know that he has the power to drive this himself, but even if it's not him, this is a real possibility that we drop into this all accumulation zone once again, and the FUD will be crazy if that happens, right? So yeah, but for me, if we drop really into this, maybe even down to the 0005s to have a liquidation event, if that happens, I'll buy a million more or so. Then I would really buy a million more. Not that I'm like, Ecomi is going to be the king of kings, but it would be a good price and like a good entry point. Omi volume jumped. Yeah, so this is good overall. Like this volume here is pretty good, and maybe it never comes to these levels. Who knows, right? But so far, John's crypto therapy has been scarily accurate in predicting the price. Dan Oses just replies he wants to hold a space. Oh yeah, that I saw. We are going to talk about this. Yeah, I saw that. Just quickly, on the market, there Miles Morales is sitting at 16k floor, and people are talking about how the comics are diluting the market and everything is going to zero. If you're in Grails do still pretty well. Felipe says, be careful with the time, you have to go. Oh yeah, thank you very much. I have two to 3 more minutes. Sorry about that. Maybe tomorrow we can squeeze in a little bit more. But yeah, you're right. But just let's look at what was demanded here and look at what Foster said. Oh, actually he posted this, right? So he's saying there should be a community feedback initiative. I'm thinking of hosting a community feedback space where everyone can provide their ideas and suggestions for things they like, don't like, or would like to see when it comes to OMI. I've noticed that I spend a lot of time answering people on X, Discord, Telegram, but the information ends up not helping much of community as I would like. I think it would be beneficial if there is one thread or space that can be used as common reference or some of the most popular questions or suggestions being provided. If you have questions or feedback you would like to provide, drop them below. The date and time for the space will be announced once organized. Want to thank everyone in advance, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if this space happens, I will definitely join. I will definitely drop questions. And by the way, it's also very important that I highlight one thing to you. And that is, I'll go full cam now, but today, we will have a discussion on this channel, a stream, with Mr. MC1. Let me just quickly pull up my own channel so I can show you. So, there you go. Okay, here. Make sure to set your reminder. This is going to be today, 9 p.m. CET. The future of Ecomi and Veve talk with Mr. MC1. So we're going to discuss all the new stuff, like the new comic platform. We're going to discuss everything around AR, VR, the Veveverse showing up in the terms and conditions. So this is also something that you have to see, and the potential interoperability that is showing up in the terms of service. So all of these will be topics on this live stream, but also make sure to come in with your questions, right? So that drop in your stuff. Make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications on so that you get notified when this starts. And there will be more. Like, I'm in contact with other people from the community, other content creators, to get a little bit of this talk back on the channel. So whenever this is possible, I will try to make it happen. And guys, unfortunately, Felipe is right. I have to check the time. I have to go now. So guys, make sure to enjoy your morning coffee or afternoon, evening. So wherever you are on the world, have yourselves great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I see you in the next live stream or video update. Have a good one, everyone. No, I see you tonight, obviously, in the live stream. And then after